So I don't have nearly enough supercomputers. I've got like I have less than 100 of them, and I need more plastic. I forget exactly how much plastic it takes to make a super. Well, it takes how much how many supercomputers a whole industrial container full of plastic can make. But one thing I have got is time crystals. Now I could switch around some of them. Oh, I can't do that. Not yet. Although I probably could fill up the SAM fluctuator requirement there. And then there's just the number of radio control units I'm gonna need. Why not just keep making those? Like until I have enough for both the turbo motors for the quantum encoding milestone and the turbo motors for the spatial energy regulation milestone. I may have to take those together. Of course, there's more stuff in the quantum encoding, but that, I suppose, is another ballgame. Anyway, cut a long story short, the completion of this milestone is going to have to wait a bit until I can get enough radio control units to make the turbo motors. Maybe I just sort of round it off at around 1,000. Of course, those things take a ton of aluminum casings and crystal oscillators, and I've been reserving those for the nuclear fusilli. I don't know, maybe that's getting old. But once I have reserved it all, then I can just sort of sit back and let the and wait for the nuclear pasta to be finished, or should I say al dente? Now, that's a new take on it, isn't it? And once it's done, then I can just drop it into the space elevator. Speaking of things you can drop into a space elevator, what was the name of that part that I unlocked with matter conversion? Biochemical sculptor. I don't know, there's something ominous about that name. It needs assembly director systems and FICSIT trigons. And water. Well, okay, water's a simple enough resource. I guess I may have to install a blender. There's this one little lake there that's relatively nearby here. I've passed it on like an alternative way to Spiral Lake, or no, to Steel Hill, when I was driving the car, and I haven't really done anything with it. And I'm guessing maybe I ought to, or at least I ought to think about it. Okay, well, I'm just going to stash these. Take out one of these because I'm starting to run low on biofuel. And then what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 1. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that 6. Okay, yeah, I do have enough for an entire industrial storage container in my own inventory, so I could just go to Fritter Lake, take out all the plastic, possibly all the computers, bring the plastic back to the supercomputer factory because it needs it, and maybe also some high-speed connectors. I've got some of those stashed, and I might as well use them there. Now, I've been leaving this sit for quite a while, even though it's specifically set up to produce both plastic and rubber, because of the heavy oil residue. What am I supposed to do with the heavy oil residue? Well, conventional wisdom is residue. Well, I think my answer was originally to package it, but maybe there's something else I can do with it. I mean, I've been sinking stuff, putting it in the, depositing it in the awesome sink for, well, for lack of a better term, cash. Put this in here for. This is fuel. Why would I? Well, not waste fuel here. So I guess what I am going to have to do is make up some more jerry cans, package the fuel until it's out of turn this thing off first, so that it doesn't make any more fuel. Then I'll make some more jerry cans. There we go. And once I'm finished, I guess, draining the there we go. Draining the buffers of what fuel they have. I'll leave the fluid tank with fuel in it where it is, packager and all, and then make a refinery for the. Or, no, better yet, I ought to. I think there's already a refinery connected to it. It's this one. So I'll reprogram that refinery for something, well, solid. And because it's solid, generally it's sinkable, unless it's radioactive waste. While that's running, when I turn this thing off, did I turn off the ability to drain fuel from? In that case, I'm just gonna have to cut this off and then turn on the refinery. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's much better. So we can just deposit that. What's this refinery set? 60 a minute heavy oil residue. petroleum coke. I'm wondering... maybe I could... I'm not going to use it for electrode. Maybe I could sink it. I think I can. Theoretically, I should be able to. I mean, it's used in stuff. Okay, hold on a minute. But it needs heavy oil residue at 40 a minute rather than at 60 a minute. But the residue comes out of these... sick of falling through this. The residue comes out of here at 10 a minute. 10 a minute? Okay, this is finished. So we'll turn it off. I'm trying to figure out what I was doing. 10, 20, 30, 40, unless, wait a minute. Okay, this is for plastic. This is for, oh, I see. The rubber is 20 a minute, the plastic is 10 a minute. Alright. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is merge all these together and then split them 3 ways. I'm just going to take this out. I don't want to waste the fuel in there. But what's in the pipeline is negligible. Some packaged fuel. I'm gonna deposit it. Doesn't look like I need any more jerry cans. This is heavy oil residue fluid buffer. I'll just leave that where it is. To bring the 2 pipelines together. That maybe doing that at a 45-degree angle ought to help. Okay, that works. So, let's bring that over. I'll get it out of the way of the power pole first. Then I'll bring it over here. And then I'll split it 3 ways. And each of those ways is a refinery that makes coke. have enough room here. Have to build this level out a little more. Not really sure what our refinery's footprint is. Okay, there we go. It's 120 petroleum coke a minute. Footprint. This thing. Might actually go all the way back here. So far, so good. Looks like that footprint's about 1.5 platforms wide. Maybe able to get away with just 3 deep, though. Or, should I say just 2 deep? We'll make it 3. Not encroaching on anything. I'm certainly building over parts of the fuel generators. Make sure that they're all programmed for petroleum coke. On the other side here, merge these conveyors. And sink what I get out of it. I should get the maximum capacity of a Mark II conveyor belt. Put a sink in here. Now, what can handle 360 a minute? Okay, it looks like it's Mark IV. There. Now, any available power lines? Okay, yeah, there are. This was in the day before there were such things as on-off switches, and the only way to turn stuff on and off was to, shall we say, turn its source on and off, like the oil extractor. Need a node for one of these. I'm going to think of it how to cut the connection to the sink there. Instead, connect it to there. Okay, that'll work. The extra 3 connections on this node will connect to the 3 refineries. This is all highly experimental. But it looks like it's working. So that, I guess, is how I'm going to deal with the heavy oil waste.